All right, we are back with a third edition of the Lab Lowdown today. We just are fresh off of Chicago. I don't know who's been to the Chicago Midwinter Meeting, but it is a whirlwind. So
chaos.
When you get back, you always have to digest with the team and figure out what information you took away and what you could do without and what was fun. So for those of you who don't know, it's kind of divided into, would you say, 2 or 3 parts: CNC, Cal Lab, LMT?
Yeah, so for the lab side, there's the CNC, which is it's a buying group, but of multiple labs all over the country, and anyone can basically join or belong to it. Cal Lab, which is more of an owners, managers meeting, focused around that more so than anything technical. And then there's LMT, which is Lab Day, which is more technical presentations all day. There's a exhibit hall. I naturally call it the flea market.
Right.
But,
classes every hour on the hour.
Yep. And then some go more than an hour. But and then there's a whole dental side for dentistry as well that we're not even part of, right?
Oh, I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
Like McCormick Place, right? There's a whole all the dentists, and then there's a pros. One of the pros.
And this is all going on at the same time?
All at the same time.
How did I not know that? That would explain why there was like random dentists.
There's random dentists show up in lab stuff all the time. It's,
I was like, what are you trying to do?
Why are you here?
We're gossiping.
Right, this is our space, right? There's random dentists that do, a lot in today's world do in-office printing. They're trying to do in-office milling, anything on the lab side.
Sense.
So they are trying to familiarize themselves with
concepts in the workflow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want or need to be technicians now. So
and I know after it was my first year. He's been going forever, but it was my first Cal Lab. Which I thought was really interesting. 100-year celebration, so that's huge. Huge. Yeah, definitely. I felt like it was interesting. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, I think, but I think one thing that I really enjoyed about it was the closed discussion, forum where you could send questions via phone. So no one knows
so
it's
part
you.
of the benefit of being part of these groups that we belong to, Tarek is a huge one. But then Cal Lab, they do a closed forum session where all the vendors or sponsors or whatever have to leave the room. And it's just the people that belong to Cal Lab. There's open questions. So ask anything. It's a good opportunity to ask about equipment you might be wondering about. How's this really working for people? Because there might be a lot of labs that are beta testing things, and so you wonder, this $100,000 printer or mill or whatever,
or programs, do I invest in this
does this
program?
thing really work? Before you
Software,
invest a lot of money, and people are really open to share their experience, positive and negative. So that saves you a lot of money and effort. So it's really nice perspective for that. But it could be equipment, it could be lab management systems. How are we using AI? Where are we implementing that in the industry today? So a lot of behind the scenes rumor things. You get to dispel a lot of that, or you can confirm that certain things are accurate that's going on in corporate dentistry or just corporations and things like that. So.
One of the biggest things that we talked about was, it seems like, because I think largely in part because you are so technology based, and not only are you an owner, but you're an actual technician. So you are really fully invested in these processes and things that are upcoming. And I know a lot of labs aren't like that, but we are. So one of the things we had talked about was just how far along we are in comparison to maybe other labs in other countries, because people all over the world are there. Well, that was interesting.
And Pierce, my son, is now full-time at the laboratory. He graduated ASU with his degree in finance. So he's now behind the scenes. So he's been going to Tarek lab meetings for about the last 2 years, some here, some there, but now he's going to all of them. And one of the things he said, he turned to me at one point and said, I feel like we were talking about this 2 years ago. And it's true. You feel you are really ahead of the curve. You're getting a lot of information before it's launched. We get a lot of pre-launch information.
Because of Tarek too.
Because of Tarek, right? So a lot of the technology that's out there, we've already been implementing, and we're already ahead of the curve in a lot of things. So that's reassuring to see that we are investing in the right areas.
Right. And for those who don't know, Tarek is a 16 lab consortium?
16 labs around the country.
Have to be invited to be in it.
Technical Research Consortium.
There you go. Open exchange of information.
Which
is great.
We really help, rising tide raises all boats, right? So that's
Yeah.
what the purpose of TERIC is.
Yeah, so that's what I thought was interesting about CalLab. That was my biggest takeaway that I know we all kind of discussed was, oh my gosh, like we're actually pretty far ahead
very much so,
of the curve, which is great. But then, after a night of dinners and a night of eating too much and having little cocktails and everything, then you go to classes the next day.
Yeah.
Bright and early. So I know I went to the Women in Dentistry breakfast, which was very interesting. It's at the crack of dawn, but it's really interesting to see people. Literally, I sat next to someone from Scotland.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. Just kind of networking, right? So even if the topics maybe don't apply to you or whatever, that was kind of cool to see. But then after, it's right to class.
Yeah. And you're running, right? You're running, you're shoving food in your mouth just to get to the next class.
Yeah, that was a lot. People think these trips are like, oh, you don't have to work at the lab, so you get to just go hang out. Yeah. Absolutely not.
Yeah, my son's girlfriend, he had called her, checked in, and she's like, oh, so basically, did you do anything fun? It's like, well, it's fun, but it's just work. You're from 6 o'clock in the morning, you get up, you go down to get breakfast, you're in the meetings, and you lunch, you have a dinner where you kind of debrief on things, and then, maybe some after hour stuff, and then right to bed, and we're right up again, 6 in the morning. Right. You're just going.
But even the events and the dinners and stuff, right? Like you're still talking about teeth all night. You're still networking and making connections, exchanging social medias and things like that. So it still is like really mentally, like when I got back, I thought it was so great, but I was dead.
Well, and a lot of the things too, those networking that I find most valuable is when you meet with a vendor, and we'll use Ivoclar for an example. Yeah. We're a big Ivoclar lab. We have the milling the dentures, the PM7, Ivotion, all that stuff. There are certain things like strategies or materials that you're having. You need to get over that hump. You're calling tech support. You're not getting to the right person, and you make those connections with the right person. And finally, you get the answer. 3Shape is another one.
I was going to say 3Shape.
I met that engineer from Ukraine, who they have a big presence over in Ukraine. A lot of their engineers are over there in Poland. So you meet this guy, and he's going to give you his email. You look down, it's all these letters that look like hieroglyphics. And it's like, can I just email you with a question? And yeah, sure. And this is amazing because he's on the team of removables for dentures, digital denture designs with 3Shape. He's in Ukraine, so now you can email a question direct to the source. You're not calling tech support. And that happens. You see new materials that are coming out, but you have that direct line to those vendors, which just empowers us even more and just gives us another edge as well. Being present helps to give you that edge.
Which the vendor area was huge.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was huge. Was it 3 huge sections?
Yeah.
Of all major, minor companies, overseas companies, global.
Yeah.
We saw a robot that if you're really feeling quite not wanting to get up off your desk, you can put your thing on the robot and it'll take it where you need to go. So you see new innovation, creative things, but a lot of it too is a lot of the same thing. It's like
it's over and over again. You feel bad because it's like
you're like, oh, puck again.
Another zirconia, another zirconia. I'm
another
cheaper.
stain.
Oh my God, enough.
But I think that was still good because that's where you talk to the 3Shape guy, and so you do make those connections there.
Yeah, and it's good to hit the main guys like 3Shape, Ivoclar, stuff like that. But then there's also the new things that are kind of up and coming. More beta, going through FDA. Denture manufacturing, printing, 3D printing, still in an evolution. We would have thought years ago that we're already there, producing a high quality, high impact. Still not there.
I was going to say, my opinion, no.
So it's just they're trying. So it's good to see that they're still really trying hard. But
well, they know the market's demanding it, so they need to do it. But it takes forever. They talk about it 1 year, and then they talk about it year 3, and then come year 7, you finally have it. But it's like, okay.
Yeah, they do get there eventually.
Eventually, but no, overall, great experience. There were some big takeaways. I know you went to a couple classes, because see, that's the thing. There's so many classes. You sign up for as many as you can, knowing they overlap or they're the same time. You pick which ones you think are the best. You give it 10, 15 minutes when you get in there and see if it's for you or if you already know this or whatnot, or if it applies, and then you move on. But it is definitely a whirlwind. I think for me, that one of the highlights was the True Abutment boat cruise.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, obviously we're a big client of theirs. We do our digital workflow for all on fours is kind of powered by their their system. So so we do a lot of business with them, and they're a very innovative company.
Yeah.
Some of the things that they showed, right, with we've always talked about, well, one day we'll be taking scans with an
our phones,
iPhone,
yeah.
and then here it is, they're showing scanning with an iPhone. So to be
So
determined,
crazy.
right? We'll
Right.
see how that technology evolves over this
Yeah.
next year, and we'll certainly stress test it like we do other products
Everything
that
else,
seem to
but-
be viable options. But that's very exciting because, again, that was a leap ahead of
Yeah.
everything. I mean, you're talking about grammetry, photogrammetry, intraoral scanning, and here they are with an iPhone.
They're all, what are you talking about,
You're
big
like,
scanner?
Yeah. Wow. So that's exciting to see that'll be part of this year.
Yeah, very exciting. So even if things aren't ready now, it's really
Yeah.
cool. If you haven't been, you should go. Bring some leaders in your team. Bring your techs. Divide and conquer, as
Yeah.
Tom always says. Divide up the classes. Go to as much as you can,
Mm-hmm.
because the goal is to bring back at least one thing,
Yeah.
each of you, that you can bring back to the lab and
Yeah.
implement or keep an eye out for in the future. So
Yeah, and a big thing too, also, it puts your finger on the pulse of the industry, right? From exponential degrees, from business. How was business last year for everybody? How does it feel like it's going this year? Where are we at with technology, with AI, right? Everyone's freaked out about AI. But how is it positive? What are the positive impacts
it's not
of it?
going away. So.
No, and how are we embracing the different technology, how everyone's doing it? So you do leave not just from technical, this is great information that I got, but you just have you have a feel with your finger on the pulse of where the industry is. And
Yeah.
are we good or are we bad, falling behind or whatever? It's just a really good vibe to then hit reset and okay, we know the direction we want.
Yeah.
Helps you to define your direction for the next year.
Right. And I think it's done that. I feel like
Yeah.
it did its job. Obviously there's always things in these few day long meetings that you can take it or leave it, but I do think that we gained a lot
Yeah.
from this. So I know, it's only now Q2 starting
Yeah.
or end of Q1, end of Q1
Yeah.
going into Q2. So it'll be nice to take some of those things, implement it. Some of those things will impact you guys in a positive way.
Yeah.
So
there were some exciting new things that won't divulge yet, but that will be coming
TBD.
That'll be coming throughout the year. Off the top of my head, I can think about four new things that'll be really impactful to us with how we work with our customers.
Right. So highly recommend if you are a lab watching and you have not gone yet, definitely go. Go for as many classes as you can. Take some of that knowledge, bring it back like we did, and it will definitely help shape your lab and the technology that you use in the future. So awesome. Well, great. So
All right.
until next year, Chicago,
right.
Well,
next year we're looking at IDS.
Well, there you go. So that one's a good one to look
that's
into also.
Every 2 years in Cologne, Germany. So.
Oh, perfect. Well, then I will see you there. All right. Till next time, guys.